a fantastic avenue for you to be able to really introduce yourself to the world of work. Okay, we all go and study, we acquire different qualifications, but then at the end of that, it doesn't just stop there. You know, we want to transition into a job, not just to pay bills, not just to, you know, earn a living and things like that, but to actually be able to give back to the world and to be able to make a difference and be productive and feel fulfilled at the same time and enjoy what we do. So this is your opportunity to get your foot in the door, to tap into some of those possibilities and be able to really research and go through a process of elimination and identify what it is that you enjoy, what it is that you would like to do. Sometimes we have this fairy tale image of what a particular profession might be like, and we think, oh, wouldn't that be fantastic? You know, some people, for example, think, oh yeah, teaching would be so easy. 9 to 3 job, I have the best holidays, get to do all of these amazing things. But they don't realize what it actually entails until they go into a school and they see that it's not that 9 to 3 job, and there's so much more to that job and to that profession. So that's what experience does across all different injuries. It gives you a taste of what to expect. It lets you test the waters to see whether or not it's the right fit for you, whether or not you're going to enjoy it. It allows you opportunity to grow, to upskill, to acquire a range of different hard and soft skills that we talked about last time, which are really, really important. Employers don't just want to see the hard and technical skills that you have, but they also want to be able to have faith that you will bring the right soft skills to the role. You'll have those great communication skills, great problem solving, decision making, a fantastic work ethic, and so on and so forth. It will give you that competitive edge. You've got to remember that this whole employability space is very competitive. Lots and lots of hundreds of people will compete for the same internships, the same jobs, the same, work experience at the same time. So you've got to think, what do I have that I can offer to help me to stand out from all of the other competition, from all of the other people that want that same experience? That's where the proactivity comes in. That's where all of the initiative that you take is going to come into play. It's the things that you do today to help you prepare for tomorrow that are going to increase your employability. So it's really important that we start thinking about all of these things. It's also a fantastic way for you to network, for you to meet industry professionals, people already working in a particular space, people who are already succeeding in different roles and enjoying and different things and giving back in amazing ways as well. So you get to meet them, you get to learn with and from them on the job as well in that particular role. And it's also another gateway for you to find and source other opportunities. So what might start, for example, as a volunteered role can lead to paid employment because people see you in action, they get impressed by what you have to offer and what you can potentially bring to the role, and then they don't want to fantastic way for you to be able to gain experience. And lots of people make the mistake of dismissing volunteering, thinking that it's not the best avenue. I'm not going to get paid. It's going to be a waste of my time. I don't have the time. I can't fit it in. The excuses, the amount of excuses are many, right? But I can tell you firsthand that volunteering is a fantastic avenue to gain experience. It's a great way to get your foot in the door, a great way for you to test the waters, to strategically network, to meet people, and essentially for you to be able to develop a range of hard and soft skills as well. I have done it many times. I know firsthand that it works, as you move into different professions and industries, and I've encouraged so many different people to do it in my career, and heaps of them have done so and have reaped the rewards, and it's led to lots of other opportunities as well. Now, what you can do with regards to volunteering is you can source your own volunteering opportunities. So you might have your heart set on some particular companies or organizations that exist out there, and you know that one day you'd love to join them, you'd love to be part of them. So you can take initiative, go and approach them. It might be a local tax company or tax agent or something along those lines, accounting firm. It could be anything, a small business, whatever it might be. You can approach them and you can ask them, do you take volunteers? Sometimes they have that information accessible straight away on their website. It might be a local hospital, local school, whatever it might be. Or you can do it the other way. You can go to different sites where they're advertising volunteering positions. They're telling you that we specifically need volunteers, and then you apply for those volunteering positions just as you would a normal part-time, casual or full-time job. I've listed some different ones here that are relevant to Australia for those of you that decide to venture out and join us later on. And then I will also show you what some of these look like. I'll just jump over here, just bear with me. So this is an example of one that's available via Seek. So Seek has lots of different jobs where you can, or job portal where you can search for different jobs across lots of different industries. It also has this career advice section where you can get lots of career information, which I shared with you in previous sessions as well. But then when you come to the volunteer part, you can either type in something that's relevant to you, or you can just click on Seek. And then it shows you lots and lots of different volunteer opportunities that exist right this minute, okay? And then you can filter according to category and or according to the type of work. So for example, accounting, finance, and so on. So this is one of many sites that would be handy if you do venture out here into Australia. But then what we've also done is I've included some different links, thanks to the fantastic team over there in Vietnam. We've got some different links in the slides that we will share with you later on. This is just one of the volunteering avenues for you to source some opportunities locally in Vietnam as well. So I definitely encourage you to look at what's available, start identifying some opportunities that align specifically with your career goals, because you want to use this as an avenue to test the waters. For example, people that are studying psychology and things like that, I always encourage them to go and test the waters and see, you know, do you want to work in the counselling space with drug and alcohol abuse, or with the elderly, or with mental health, or do you want to work with youth? You won't know that unless you test the waters. Same sort of thing in a business perspective. If you're trying to identify areas for you to specialise within business, you won't know what they may be until you do your research and until you start getting yourself out there, volunteering in different environments and testing the waters firsthand. So you want to see what opportunities are specifically available to me in this space. And volunteering is definitely one of those first avenues via which everyone can start gaining experience today. You don't need any experience to volunteer in most instances. So this is a great starting point for you to be able to do this first before we go into all of those other gaining experience avenues as well. And some of the different perks or the advantages of volunteering I've put for you here in this visual. So not only do you get to obtain experience, but you can give back. You get to change people's lives, make a positive difference in the world. You get to connect with others and build meaningful relationships. You get to network with people and meet industry professionals and learn with and from them and hear about their amazing journeys and their experiences. You also get to get the foot in the door and see and test firsthand, do I actually like this kind of business environment? You know, or do I like this kind of organization? Or is this exactly not what I want to do and not what I thought it would be? And then I can go and I can reassess and I can explore other opportunities until I find what's right for me. You gain different types of experience, both hard and particularly those soft skills, which all employers want to be able to see from you. So you boost and improve your communication skills, your leadership skills, your teamwork, ability to work with others, and your work ethic and everything else in that space as well. And again, it looks really, really good on your documents, which we'll talk about later on, but it will strengthen things like your profile, your LinkedIn profile, your resume, your cover letter, because it shows that you have the right mindset. You're putting yourself out there, you're taking initiative, you're acquiring skills and experiences, and you are going to have that competitive edge because of these steps that you have taken. Then there's work experience. So work experience is another avenue via which you can start to gain experience. And I know with our university, for example, for those of you that move on and become stage 2 students and join us here in Australia, what we offer is a do-it-yourself work experience program or a skills enhancement program. And what you get to do when you get to that particular stage is you get to come along and apply to get up to 100 hours signed off through the university, where you can go out there and gain industry or degree related experience at a company or organization of your choice. So it might be a particular business that you would love to be able to join one day. You want to see what it's really like being there. This is your avenue, in addition to volunteering, to go and test the waters. You get up to 100 hours to go and do so. You can network with everyone and you can start seeing what the actual role looks like. So what does a day in the life of a nurse look like, or the day in the life of a HR professional look like? You get to see that firsthand. You get to network with everyone. You get to learn on the job, apply your learning, and do all of these amazing things in that setting as well. So definitely jump onto any sort of work experience that's offered to you. Sometimes work experience can happen as a compulsory component of your degree. Like I know with our engineering courses, for example, you have to do internships and you have to do other things as well. So if that is part of your course, obviously you have no choice, you have to do that, and you should be willing to do that. But what I'm also encouraging you to do is to go beyond that. Don't just do the bare minimum. Successful people don't just, like accept the minimum that they have to do. They always strive to do more. They look for ways to improve. They look for other avenues to upskill. And that's what I want you to start researching. I want you to look at the different types of work experience that align with your career goals. I want you to think about the different settings where you can gain experience. So you can see here, I've got images of businesses and hospitals and schools and labs and multimedia and construction sites. There's so many different spaces. So think about, what is it that I actually want to do after I graduate? And then what sort of experience or volunteering opportunities is going to help me reach that goal and obtain that goal? What kind of settings could I go and do some work experience in? Who do I want to test the waters with? So if I know, for example, that I want to work with the elderly, then I'm going to need some work experience with the elderly. If my target group is going to be the youth, then I want to go and do some work experience with the youth. Think about the cohorts as well as the settings, and then find relevant opportunities in that space as well. Then we move into internships, which is really, really important, a great avenue. It's a great bridge of connection between studies and employment. And there's lots of different avenues for you to find or source internships. I'll share some of those in just a moment. And I just wanted to let you know that internships can be paid and they can be unpaid. Even the unpaid internships are very, 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 very helpful, very useful, and will definitely support and supplement your career goals. So please consider those, not just the paid opportunities. They can happen at different times, different intervals throughout the year, and some of them are on offer over the summer. So they have summer internships for students to go and do whilst you have a nice break. You can go and do that there as well. What you can do, again, is you have the goals, you use it as personal development opportunities, then you upskill. You find mentors, people who can supervise you, people who can guide you and direct you, share their journeys and experiences, and actually teach you the different duties, the key responsibilities that are required in a particular role, in a particular work setting. And then what happens is it leads to other opportunities. Again, whether it's through an internship or work experience or volunteering, people see you in action and they see the attitude that you bring. Okay, the motivation, the goals, everything that you bring along to the role, and they get to see what kind of an employee you make. And if you're ticking off all of these boxes and you're impressing in all of the right ways, this internship can lead to a paid position, an ongoing position, a degree-related opportunity in that particular organization as well. And sometimes if they can't retain you, if they're not in a position to offer you anything paid, what can happen through these different avenues is they can talk you up, they can talk about you to their networks. So they may have, colleagues or friends or whoever it might be that work in other organizations, in other companies. And next minute you can be at the top of an interview list, or being approached by someone because they've heard such wonderful things about you and all the amazing things that you accomplished in your experience. So always strive to reap the rewards, make the most of it, and learn as much as you can on the job. It's not just about finding experience and gaining the experience, but it is about asking questions, learning everything that you can so that you can show that dedication, that motivation, and that right attitude, that growth mindset that employers want to see all the time also. So it's usually at some sort of supervised work placement. The duration can vary. It can go for a couple of weeks, couple of months. It can be part of a course or degree. It can be compulsory, or it can be something that you just do out of your own initiative. And also you get that, opportunity to train, to upskill and do all of those amazing things. Job shadowing is happening in this space, as well as the networking and everything else too. Now, again, if you do decide to continue with us, what you will be able to have direct access to will be a site that looks like, sorry, just bear with me, like this one here. And what we've done is we've actually collated lots of different sites and spaces for you to be able to find summer internships, other internships, virtual internships, which I'll talk to you about in a moment as well, graduate jobs, graduate programs, entry-level jobs, part-time student jobs, through all of these amazing organisations and websites and things as well. So make sure that you look out for them. There's also some here that are relevant to you guys, so that will be in the resource section of our slides. So again, thank you to the amazing team that have shared these local opportunities with you. And also there are opportunities that you can apply for directly through the university over there. So please make sure that you're constantly looking for them. We will share different ones with you at the end of the session also. Now, just with regards to the internships, some of them happen in a face-to-face capacity, where you go to the actual organisation, the company, and you are required to work as an employee would work, just in a different capacity because you're learning on the job and you're getting that supervision. Others happen in an online sort of virtual format, and that's what we call the virtual internships. So these are still organised through those big organisations, big companies who are putting different opportunities together for people to be able to learn and upskill and strengthen their resume, strengthen their LinkedIn profiles from virtually anywhere in the world. And all you need is access to a device. Alrighty, so what I thought we'd do next is to hear from some panelists. So I believe that there are two panelists that are joining us over there in Vietnam today that are going to share their experiences about gaining experience, how important it is, what benefits they have had from doing so, and also just to give you some first-hand insight and first-hand, support and guidance as to how you can balance all of this experience as well, because we don't just want to find or source experience, we want to know how to maintain that healthy balance and hear from students who have been there, have done that, and are doing what you hopefully are all going to start doing very soon. So can we maybe spotlight those two students so that we can start asking them some questions for you all to hear about?
Yeah. So today's workshop, we also invite two special guests, which are two undergraduates in the program, and they are also finding the first steps in gaining experience. So first, I want to invite Ngày, an international business undergraduate, which is also currently a procurement intern. So please welcome her.
Welcome, thank you. How are you?
Hi, I'm okay. And hi everyone, I am Ngày, and I am a procurement intern at DKSR Vietnam. And I'm the second year student at WSU at Western University.
Second year, fantastic. Fantastic. And thank you so much for agreeing to be one of our amazing panelists today. I think it's always important for students to hear from students, not just from professionals, because they can relate to them and then they can see firsthand how this can be actioned, which is really, really important. So we wanted to ask you a couple of questions, if that's okay. Can I ask you what sort of avenues you have taken to acquire experience so far?
I cannot hear your voice. Can you repeat the question?
Sorry, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, so I just thought maybe we'd start with, what sort of experience you have gained so far? What experience have you been undertaking, and how did you find that experience as well?
I have been in some internship programs, and the first one is the logistics and finance in the Chấn project. That is do the thing to preparing for the concert, okay, and the okay concert and the broadcasting event. The second experience is the international business intern in the manufacturer, which is the it's a manufacturer. I'm in charge in the B2B sales. Yes, and the third one is the recruitment intern in DKSR, that I'm in charge in the deciding which I'm finding material for the drugs, something like that, the pharmacy taste, yeah, something like that. I've just had an internship about a week ago, and I do not really have much experience in this internship.
That's okay, and that's what you're going to be getting, is that experience in that one. Yeah. So that's fantastic. Can I ask, how did you actually get the experience? How did you find them, and then how did you secure them as well?
I think I joined some of the groups on Facebook about the job and internship opportunities for students, and luckily I find this internship. And I also applied for many positions in the LinkedIn jobs, but I failed all. I also applied for many positions. Yes, that's how I find and I apply for the jobs. That all of my internship is from the Facebook group. Yes.
Yep. So that's another important reason why we should join lots of different types of groups, because, you know, through the groups, through the professional associations, all of those different extra avenues are how you can find out about who actually wants to recruit and train and support students like yourselves. So yeah, well done. Yes. And then can I ask you, how do you maintain a work-life balance? So how are you managing to do the experience, the internship, and study, and maybe have a part-time job or something, and have a social life?
I think I have two rules to maintain a work-life balance. I think the key is to improve the productivity, and so that I will have more time for me to relax, more time for myself. To do that, there are two rules. For me, there are two rules that I always keep. That is, the first is always focus 100% on what I am doing. I don't do multitasking because it's not for me. It's things that not for me. That's when I work, I don't study, I don't surf the TikTok, Facebook, and when I rest, I completely rest, and no work or study is allowed unless it's an emergency case. The second rule is regardless of the work, I always spend at least half of the day a week for me to rest, because when my body works too much, it would reduce the productivity and I will consume more time to complete the task, and it's not good for me. So that is the two rules I use to maintain a work-life balance.
I love that. I think that's fantastic advice for all of the students on the call at the moment. It's so important to be able to be as disciplined as you are. You know, there's time to study, there's time to work, and there's time to just do nothing. And there's time for family and friends and your health and everything as well. And I love the fact that you are very disciplined in that. You know, you said that when you are trying to have that time out, you make sure that you don't do any work and that you're not checking things and whatever. And then same sort of thing, when you're working, you're focused and you're invested in work only, and you're not getting distracted by all of those other things. So that's fantastic. That's really good advice. Thank you for sharing that. And then can I ask you, what sort of skills do you think that you've started to develop through your work experience so far?
I think through my experience, the skill that I operate the most is the interpersonal skill. That is the emotional controlling, the communication skill, the persuasion skill. Yes, that is the most of the skill that I gain the most. Some of the hard skill that I gain is the B2B sales, that I understand how to reach and how to contact with business partners. And I also understand the purchasing behavior of the business. That is some of the hard skill that I gain. Yes, just that.
Fantastic. And those skills that you've highlighted are very much transferable skills. And that's really, really good, because what you want to be able to do is not just acquire and gain different skills, but you want to be able to move lots of those skills with you to different positions in different companies in the future as well. So well done. All right, and can I ask you as well, what advice would you have for all of our amazing students on the call today? About gaining experience, especially if they haven't started to gain experience, you know, what advice do you have to share with them?
I think if you are the first and the second year student, if you haven't started to gain experience, just relax, because at the first and the second year student, what you should focus is on to building the foundations, which is the studying. To focus on study and achieving a good academic performance now will give you an advantage for you when you apply for an internship in the junior and the senior years, because they say, oh, you have a really good background, a good grade. That means you have ability to learn and you are willing to learn. So it's easy for them to train you. Yes, to teach you some skill, and yes, or you can if you have a lot of free time, you can join some courses to earn some certificate relevant to your career path, like the data analysis or the communication skill, something like that. You can also join some clubs, some volunteers, or some specific jobs such as the tutor or the cashier or something like that, to help you to interact with a lot of people to upgrade your interpersonal skill. That's also a choice for the first and second year student.
That's great advice, reiterating a lot of the things that we've spoken about today and really demonstrating what all employers and recruiters want from any potential employee, and that is that growth mindset. Because as you said, you know, everyone can be trained on the job, you know, and that's what these different avenues are for that training, that upskilling, that professional development. But what they want to be able to see from you as a student is that desire to learn, that willingness to learn, and that attitude. You know, that positive attitude of, yes, I'm here, I'm focused, I'm ready for whatever challenges you're going to throw my way. So if you can demonstrate that with all the different interviews, with all of the different job applications, regardless of the type of experience that you're acquiring, that's going to definitely work in your favor. So well done. Thank you so much, Nii. That's been fantastic. Great advice for everyone. Did you...